Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Barbershop Love Stories, but this time it's the singles edition, cuts and conversations. Except I'm not gonna be cutting. I can't do two things at once. So yeah. My very special guest today is Tavares. Hello.
Hello. Pleasure to meet everyone.
Yes. So Tavares and I, we go way back. He's been a client for quite a while, and he's got some exciting stories to tell today. So why don't you start it off? Tell me a love story or a attempted love story.
And not really that exciting, but one particular story, actually, I can name about a few women that have hit a mark that I particularly don't like. Like I have a few boundaries for myself.
Okay.
That once you cross these boundaries, I'm kind of like, I don't need that. So one of it is time. I'm a busy person, you're a busy person, we're all busy.
Sure.
Time means a lot. It also says a lot about you and also about me if I'm willing to give up my time to spend time with you or vice versa. So whenever somebody is late, and I'm a pretty reasonable guy, if it's like, oh shoot, late, I'm sorry, I got caught in traffic, it's gonna be like 3 minutes, okay, I can understand that. But if it's like 15 minutes, because I've had some people tell me some weird times, it's like, I'm already on my way there. I actually got to the restaurant, or it could be to a museum. It could be a wide variety of things, but I'm there. She gives me a call back. She ain't even got home yet. So she's still at work. We're just getting off from work. Nope. Gotta let that go.
Yeah, because that says like you had no intentions of doing right.
That, and it sounds more like it's kind of like we're just hanging out.
Oh, okay.
That's a no for me. Now, if you just want to hang out, I cannot try as hard and just pick a random spot. Hey girl, will it be mind if I come through? You get that kind of treatment.
Okay.
So that is like a no. There was like one girl, she went to the entirely wrong restaurant.
No, isn't that just an accident? That's
No,
not an accident, guys?
no, not when I give you the address.
Okay.
I almost want to go old
Maybe she
school.
had an iPhone 4.
Well,
Things happen.
Then that's her fault. Get an Android. Mess with Google Maps, not whatever the heck they got.
Okay.
But here's the thing: I gave her the address. So I'm assuming she didn't pay attention to that text. You know, I almost want to go old school and just pick the young lady up and then drive her there, but not in this day and age. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
At least not for the first couple of days.
Yeah.
So that leaves a problem. You show up late, like some guys I hear, they get 15 minutes. I'm like, bro, 15 minutes, I already left. Now I know there's emergencies, but unless it's, I'm sorry, can we reschedule? There is no second chance would be on that one.
Okay.
Because here's the thing that I do know. A young lady will be on time for a lot of things. She'll be on time for that interview at that job. She'll be on time for her boss. She'll be on time for that dude she really wants to be with. So if she's giving you the scraps of her time, don't be mad about it. Don't be upset. You know, just let her be happy. Hey, I'm just gonna go find somebody else.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Did you have any other? Did you feel?
Another one which is weird because it reminds me of a couple of acquaintances that I work with, how they're talking about the cost of a date, you know. They don't want to spend a lot of money. And I've always explained to people, it's like, well, dude, where the heck you take her? Well, I'm not spending $300 on a date. First of all, where are you going to spend $300 on a date? Who you taking? And it's like, what are you getting for that much? I want to know. The food and drinks must be incredible. Because there's plenty of places you can go and not have to empty the bank. Like one of my favorites. You ever heard of Eclipse Luna?
I have.
Tapas bar. Everything is generally under $15 for their small, like little appetizer. Think of it like a restaurant that specializes in appetizers, and we know how costly those are.
Yeah.
The beauty is a tapas bar focuses more on how can I say this? More connection and speaking with one another. So it actually breeds better conversation, so you're not spending your time stuffing your face with food. But if you do want to eat, they got some great dishes and even some that will feed 2 people or more, and the prices are reasonable. So Eclipse Luna is one of my best places to go. The ambiance is great, music is great, and if you know how to salsa dance, perfect place to go, especially when they're doing live music. They also have the best Halloween parties.
Good deal. So I had a conversation with a friend of mine this week, and he was talking about a couple of girls that he did spend like $200 off the rip, and it didn't go anywhere. And I was just confused. I was like, why would you do that? Why would you not like vet them and maybe go to get ice cream or coffee? Because I'm thinking, not that I don't enjoy a $300 meal, but I just thought that was interesting that was what was put up front. Because then I'm thinking, if you spend $300 on me the first date, then I'm expecting the next date and the next date and the next date and the next date to be around the same. Like, you can't go back and then the next date we're at Zaxby's.
Here's what happens with that. Now, a coffee date is only really good if you meet somebody on the street. Like, you're walking down the street, you go to a bookstore or anything for that matter. You meet them, you introduce yourself, you talk, you have good vibes, and you say, hey, I know a coffee shop right down the street. That's more of a right then, right there moment.
Okay.
That is not a, I met you before, now I'm speaking to you again, I'd like to invite you on a date, let's go get coffee. I'm not getting up out the bed for that. Okay. I'm not getting in my car. It would cost me more money to get ready, get in my car and drive down there than it would to pay for the actual coffee. No, that's not a good thing. Now, as far as an ice cream date, that is an after dinner kind of thing. And actually, one of the better ways of vetting somebody, I pay for the main dinner, you get the ice cream. Maybe. It all depends on you.
Okay.
But usually that's a good way of kind of semi-vet somebody. It's like, hey, I dropped, between the both of us, I dropped 120, 130. You're paying, what, $20, $25 for really good ice cream for the two of us?
Do you ask that, or do you wait and see if she will offer that?
You wait.
Oh.
Be prepared to ask. It doesn't necessarily write her off. But it actually is a good thing. It's like, man, it's like he got all this. Well, shoot, now I got the ice cream. Because let's see, how many guys do you really know want their girl to pay for them like that?
I mean, it's Atlanta, so there's a lot going on.
But here's the thing: there's plenty of women, plenty of money.
True.
I'm pretty sure that, hey, wait a minute, we had a good time at dinner. Oh, let me get the ice cream.
Yeah.
But the main reason why a dude will spend that much money is trying to impress the chick. He doesn't have enough going on in his own life to where he can lead with that. So I just met her. Let me spend, he said 200, how much total? How much did he pay?
Like about 200.
200? No. There are great restaurants out here that you should not have to be paying 200. So that sounds like they got a lot of appetizers, a lot of mixed drinks that they didn't finish. Because I can guarantee you their main dish probably didn't cost more than $50 or $60. Again, I would love to know where they're going. Because I can eat much better than that for less. And it'd be a great experience.
Yeah. It's in this field, I get to hear a lot of different stories. So another story that I heard was that the guy, he said he doesn't date. And basically what he does is like, he'll vet you, like he'll have like a hangout. If you talk for hours and everything, like then that's where he's doing the vetting part. But he's not gonna just be like, hey, do you want to meet here with such and such?
That's actually not a bad way. He's actually trying to build connection. That's really the best way of doing it.
Yeah, I was blown away with that.
So he has a particular hangout. Considering if that's good or not. I mean, I like the fact that he got his own place where he can go and take them. But it also sounds to me that he doesn't quite have too much going on, because it's, okay, this is my hangout, and take her here, instead of meeting her with something that you two can both share together.
Well, he actually is very well off and does very well for himself. It's just his way of, and he's actually married now, so like it doesn't.
Oh, well, then it don't count.
It doesn't count. But in the past, he said that was his way of getting to know somebody.
Well, it's like there's really no pressure on him. There's no pressure on her. And if you two enjoy each other's company, it doesn't really matter where you go. You can take her to. I told a buddy of mine, if a lady likes you and really wants to be with you, you could take her grocery shopping, not for her, for you.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll have a blast.
Yeah.
You'll literally be going through the aisles and making jokes about the particular items on the shelf. Like, who the hell buys this stuff?
Mm-hmm. I went to a doctor's appointment like 10 years ago. This guy that I was talking to, his chiropractor appointment, and to me that was fun. So I feel like all that stuff comes. It can come later if they. I don't think it necessarily needs to be up front. You spend a gazillion dollars on me up front. I don't want to be feeling like you're spending a gazillion dollars on somebody else and you're not on me though. Like, that's a problem.
Well,
but
that's the dilemma with the simp versus trick dynamic.
Do share.
Well, I'm sure you are familiar with a lot of the red pill space and men's dating advice. Men as a whole hate simps.
Okay.
You know what they do? Or what they are?
I mean, I do, but our audience might not.
Well, tell me what you think of them.
I mean, they are very weak and they just spend money on women and they don't get any good treatment out of it. They just give, and there's nothing that comes back.
They pedestalize women. They put them on a pedestal in hopes that they will receive equal reciprocate. Can't even get the word right. They put them on a pedestal, offering their time, money, and resources in hope that they'll get some of that treatment back in return.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of guys who are spending all that money on dates, hoping that she'll at least call him back, maybe get sex out of the deal. Those are the simps. Those are the guys that we all despise. They kind of inflate the price when it comes to dating.
Okay.
At least for average dudes, it does. What do you think tricks do?
I mean, they just straight out pay for things.
Right. They treat it like a business transaction. And most dudes who hate simps love tricks. At least they're getting something out of the deal. But boy, they paying a hard premium for something that they pretty much could have gotten for free. Because anybody who really understands women who have real experience, you don't need to work that hard. Hell, women will tell you that. Here's something that somebody told me. When a woman doesn't like you, she doesn't necessarily have to hate you. She's just not feeling you like that. You could give her a rose garden. Now, anybody who's ever planted a single seed or actually have been a farmer or grown crops or flowers knows how long and tedious it can be. So imagine growing a rose garden for a girl that you like. Like I say, she doesn't hate you, but she doesn't really like you either. She will be annoyed that you went through all of that for her. Who is she? Why is she special? She hasn't done anything for you to warrant a gift like that. The man, on the other hand, gets very angry and annoyed. This is simps, by the way, because they dedicated all this time and effort and got back nothing. They think they can buy love. Okay. Or more correctly, they think they can buy affection. It's not really love or sex. That's what the tricks do.
Yeah.
Now, let's say a woman likes you. Another man comes through. She really likes this guy. Wants to spend time with him. Wants to share her life with his life. He can go to that same garden, pick a single petal from one rose out of that garden, give it to her, and she will be honored that he gave it to her.
That's true. That is true.
That's the thing that most people do, that guys mess up on. If she doesn't like you, if it's not there, there's nothing you can do to change that. Move on.
Yeah. Let it go.
Don't try to keep going. Don't try to, win her over. That whole no means yes. Well, I said no. You're not even going to try. You said no. I mean, I accepted it. Now I'm moving on. You're not even going to try? For what? I already did. You said no.
Yeah, I feel like that comes from when you have that type of thought process, it means that you don't operate in scarcity. That you believe that like women are martyr buses and they're coming every 30 minutes. And then I think some people, they don't agree with that. And so then they try to hold on tightly and try to make something happen.
Most guys' life when it comes to dating women is rejection across the board. Show me the best player you know. Show me the best womanizer you know. And I guarantee you, how long have you had it this good, homie? Maybe a couple of years. You're 27. By a couple of years, what, 2 or 3? You finally figured out something that works for you. After how many failures? Some people get lucky. They find that right one early on. Some comes much later. But we all go through that rejection. It's why guys hold on to it for so long. A guy would rather keep a woman around who he's, God damn, I really don't like this woman.
Yeah,
but who knows when I'm going to meet another one? Who knows when I'm finally going to get sex again? Granted, I only get sex once a month, but hey, at least I'm getting it. A lot of guys go through that. They live that life.
Yeah, I've seen that definitely happen. I just didn't know what was necessarily behind it, because I'm like, well, why don't you just go out, walk away from your situation and go find a new situation? Like, but I've seen men stay for decades.
Right.
With that.
Right. Angry and bitter.
Yeah.
Oftentimes with somebody that they don't like.
And we all know that you don't like them.
And most likely might cheat, might settle for the scraps you get. Some of the most miserable people I hear are men who are married. Like most are like, man, I gotta spend a lot of money taking a girl on a date. Aren't you married, dude? I thought you'd be past that. But then I realized, okay, he probably got a side chick. And he's realizing with a side chick, the dynamics have changed when you're a married man. If she knows you're married, she's number 2, and she will always be number 2. Now, if she's stupid, she might think she can be replaced. But most of the time, how often does a man leave his wife to be with the other chick?
It's kind of rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah.
But back to the whole, why do men stick around? Why do men treat women as scarcity? Because for a lot of guys, it is. Take Atlanta. What do they say about the ratio of women to men?
When I first came, I think it was like 21-1, and then I've heard 18-1. But then I've also heard that like 17 of them aren't a good fit.
It's roughly 50-50. If you paired up 100 men with 100 women, just paired them up, you'll probably have around 7 or 10 women left over for every 100 couples that you make. Just putting them together. That's nowhere near 20-1, 18-2 women to men. No, it's dating preference. What's happening is if you take 10 men, various levels of looks, financial standing, compare them to 10 women of various looks, economic standing. Most people might think the guy who's a 10 goes after the woman who's a 10. The man who's a 9 goes after the woman who's a 9. Woman who's an 8 goes to the guy who's an 8. Chris Rock said it best. All 10 girls will try to bang 2 boys. Meaning you will all, including you will go through that list of 10 men. If you're one of 10 women, you will all go through that list of 10 men and pick out which one that you like the most desirable one, the most successful one. Very rarely will the people try to evenly yoke them. That's not how it works. Men kind of dig down, women date up.
Interesting. So
the dynamic actually works, but ultimately what it leads to is you're pretty much going to have 2 guys, maybe 3, who gets to sample all 10 women. And then you got most of those guys who either get nothing or the scraps.
That's wild, because this is the second time I've heard that from somebody else this weekend.
Yeah.
So that is very interesting.
Right. It's not because here's the thing, when people say things like women outnumber men 10-1, look at the job market. That would mean every place you go, there should be like 90% women and 10% men working in that place. Or you got a lot of unemployed women out here on the streets. That's not the case. It's roughly 50-50. It's dating preferences that have people thinking that. And of course, to the guys who are getting all the action, of course, they think women outnumber men 10-1, 20-1. They think that. But that's not the case.
What type of woman are you looking for, or are you even looking? Because I've met a lot of men. They're like you. They're successful. They have a good head on their shoulders, but they're just like chasing their dreams. They're, if it comes, it comes. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
I'm not that successful yet. Give me about another year or two. But I don't really have a taste. I'm always looking.
Mm-hmm.
But I've learned trying to go out specifically to find that one doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
If I walk down the street and I see a young lady that catches my eye, I'll say something.
Mm-hmm. But you aren't like on the campaign trail. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm not forcing it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that hard for me.
Yeah. Do you feel like other men have to force it?
Oh yeah, well definitely. They definitely have to force it. And a lot of it comes from just the life that they live. I told a buddy of mine actually last week, I said, dude, with this whole you want a woman to submit to you, it's like, dude, a woman kind of really doesn't submit to the man as much as she submits to the life that man has created for himself, which he's in charge of. You got yourself a good life, because if you got yourself a good life, you're not going to find too many women that are going to say no. There are going to be plenty that will say no because you're just not their thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, you're a good looking dude. You keep yourself up. You go to the gym, right? Even if you don't go to the gym, man, if you're a big dude, rock that big papa style. There are a lot of women who are into the big papa teddy bear thing.
Yeah.
They love putting their arms around that big gut. He can keep you warm at night better than any man ever could. But it's like I always tell people, live your life like you actually give a damn about it. And then you'll realize how many people
are attracted to that.
Yeah, they want to ride with you. And it's not just in dating, it's in everything you do. I learned the hard way. I said, look, man, do I want to be in the wagon while somebody else pulls the reins? No, because at any time they can stop pulling. Now I got a wagon that won't go nowhere. I pull the reins. And guess what? If that wagon that I'm choosing to pull is worth getting into, people will get into it. If I say no, you help me pull. And people say, well, shoot, I like where he's going. I like what he's carrying. I'll follow behind him. It's not that hard. If most dudes put half as much effort in just being a better person today than they were yesterday, a lot of these issues with dating would go away.
And that's what I want to kind of end on. Like, what would you tell like a up and coming young single man who's, just getting his toes wet in this whole pool?
First, I would ask him, are you comfortable with your life? Are you happy with it? If you're not, we don't need to even talk about women.
Okay.
If you're not happy with the finances that you're making, okay, you're a young guy. We don't expect you to make a lot of money. But are you at least making the kind of money a man your age is supposed to be making? If that's yes, that's cool. Say you're 19. Are you in college? Vocational training? Well, let's say vocational training. Okay, you don't make enough to live on your own just yet. Live with roommates or with your age. Stay at home with your parents. Save up your money. Give mom and dad a couple of kickback for letting you stay past childhood. And then work to build yourself up. One block at a time, one step at a time. Then you'll look around and realize how good you have it. You'll feel better about yourself, and other people will feel better about being around you.
I like that. I like that. Thank you so much, Tavares. I really feel like that's going to help a lot of young men. And once again, first episode down. Thank y'all. Remember to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube, Barbershop Love Stories, Single Edition.